Turkey has a president who has made statements relative to reestablishing the Ottoman Empire. And he wants to be the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood. And so we have to make sure that is what is happening in the Middle East, that we're not getting focused someplace and letting Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood play victim.
Yes, our target should be a NATO ally, Turkey. And the person you just heard from is a Republican congressman, Josh Brecheen, who is basically embarrassing himself at a town hall in Oklahoma. This happened earlier this week. He was fear-mongering about the Ottoman Empire and the Muslim Brotherhood. And you know, Cenk, as someone who was actually born in Turkey, are you worried about the reemergence of the Ottoman Empire?
Okay, I mean, so Louis Gohmert's back, the ghost of Louis Gohmert. So Representative Gohmert did a speech during the Obama administration where he said that Obama was looking to reconstitute the Ottoman Empire. Now, Obama's been out of office for a while, and the Ottoman Empire appears to be utterly unreconstituted. But that's never stopped Republicans before. Obviously, what this is a bag of squirrels. He was asked about Israel. We'll give you some of the tape in a second. So the minute he's asked about AIPAC, where he takes a lot of money from and does trips with, etc., he's like, Turkey, Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, Iran, the Squirrel Brotherhood. The real problem is the Squirrel Brotherhood. They're going to bring back the Squirrel Empire. And we just cannot have it, okay? Now, whatever you do, do not talk about Israel and the money I'm taking from the Israeli lobby. Yeah, I got it.
And look, just a little bit of nuance before we go to more of this clown. Look, I've got no love for Erdogan in Turkey at all. And it does appear that he's trying to move away from a secular society to one that only allows, Muslim faith. And that's not good. But that's different from trying to reestablish the Ottoman Empire, clearly. And you're right, Cenk, he was deflecting because he didn't want to talk about the obvious war crimes that Israel is currently committing, the just complete destruction of international laws. Because honestly, how can the West really talk about the importance of human rights or following international laws when we've allowed Israel to do anything and everything it wants with no consequences? So with that in mind, let's go to the congressman who refused to say much of anything about Gaza and instead argued that the real genocide is happening in Syria. Take a look.
Do you realize that there are 750,000 people, Christians and Druze, that are being encircled in Suwaida, an hour to the north of Israel, and nobody is talking about them? 750,000, up to 10,000 people have already been slaughtered. I've seen the videos of babies dead with their grandparents shoved off of rooftops to save buildings. An American citizen jumping off of a rooftop in Syria, being forced to jump off a rooftop, and while he was shot. There is a massacre and a genocide happening by the Muslim Brotherhood, and everybody is focused on Gaza. But the same ideology that Israel has to be around and coexist with it will come to America. We've got Sharia law trying to be set up in America today. Absolutely we do. You have Sharia law trying to be established in America today. The Muslim Brotherhood is the ideology. People, you're falling into the Muslim Brotherhood trap to be focused in one area and not see the genocide that is happening in Syria.
Okay, before I continue, I just want to give the town hall attendants, this is Oklahoma. Just a big round of applause. That was amazing. Obviously, they're rejecting his fear mongering here about Muslims. That's what he's trying to do. And I give them a lot of love and credit for doing so. But I also want to just say the violence that's happening in Syria should not be minimized. It is true that the Druze absolutely are facing persecution from the Syrian government, which is now led by a former Al-Qaeda member. Let's just keep it real. We know about that. We've been reporting on that. And it's reported that about 1,400 civilians were killed in the sectarian violence that escalated again just this past July. But let's not deflect from what he was asked to talk about, which is what's happening in Gaza, where 63,000 Palestinians that we know of have been killed at the very least. Okay, that doesn't count the people who are trapped under the rubble, the bodies trapped under the rubble. And he claims there's no genocide happening in Gaza whatsoever. And if you think it is a genocide, well, you're falling for the Muslim Brotherhood propaganda. And then an attendee asked him about taking AIPAC money. Love that someone did that. Let's see how that went.
Lobbying, you get paid by AIPAC $35,000.
I did not get paid by AIPAC $35,000.
That's what they have it on your Facebook.
So can I explain to you
on the thing? Okay, let me just. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish, and then you correct me. Okay.
You made a statement. Let me correct it. Okay. AIPAC is an organization that supports Israel. Before I ran for Congress, because of my biblical beliefs, I support Israel. I believe in Genesis 12 and Genesis 17. I believe that there is something very special biblically about the covenant with the land of Israel.
It's not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible.
Let me finish. It doesn't mean I give Israel a pass to do whatever they want to, but I have a biblical belief.
Can I finish? But go ahead. You're right. Let me finish this. Let me finish what I'm saying.
But I just want you to make sure you understand.
Right, I understand. I fully respect.
There are members of AIPAC who also give to members of Congress, and that money is ascribed to as if it comes from AIPAC. But the AIPAC cannot, to that level, give money. But there are people who support Israel like I do, and do give me campaign donations.
Okay, so he's received, close to $30,000 from the Israel lobby. It's incredible. And by the way, one of the attendees also brought up the Israeli pedophile that was allowed to fly back to Israel and will probably never come back to face the felony charges that he is, being charged with. But Cenk, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, and of course, the congressman didn't say to bring him back or anything like that. But before we do anything else, Hannah, I want to chastise you. I mean, you criticized the Turkish government earlier, so obviously you're anti-Turkish. And you were using anti-Turkish tropes, and I think your career should be ruined. I think you should be arrested, denaturalized, and deported. And I'm expecting congressional hearings.
Okay, I only have one word for you, Cenk. One word for you: siktir.
No, wait. I'm hearing no. Turks don't get that. Neither does anyone else. Only Israel does. Okay, got it. So now, in reality, Erdogan is snuffing out democracy in Turkey as we speak. Is he reconstituting the Ottoman Empire? Dude, he'd be lucky to reconstitute his next term, right? He's deeply unpopular, and that's why he's trying to kill off democracy. Oh, look, someone from an ethnic background can criticize a country they came from. Wow, that's so hard. Okay, so anyways, now putting this guy, talking about this guy. So he says, it's not that I'm taking money from AIPAC, it's that of my biblical beliefs. I mean, imagine they just name a country Canaan, and you're like, wait, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, no, it's based on the Canaanites in the Bible. So now you have to give them $300 billion, and you have to let them commit a genocide, and you have to do everything they order you to do. And if any of the Canaanites come here and rape American kids, you have to let them go. Why? Because of my biblical beliefs about the Canaanites, and they named the country Canaan, so I'm done. I mean, that would be the dumbest thing you've ever heard, right? That is literally his argument, literally, okay? So now, how about Sharia law? Should we be concerned about that? Yeah, you should be. I'm reporting now, right, they're about to take Nebraska as we speak. Omaha's gone, and they're moving their Ottoman troops around, and then they're gonna institute Sharia law, at first in Nebraska, then obviously Kansas and Missouri. All right, look, if you're dumb enough to believe that Sharia law is imminent in America, there's nothing I could do to help you because you lack the intelligence to be able to make decisions that make sense. And then one of our members, Infinity, wrote in, did you hear the guy laughing in the background when he mentioned the Ottoman Empire? Even his audience didn't buy it. You're right, Infinity, and thank you for being a member, tyt.com/join to be part of the show. Yeah, we noticed that because as Anna pointed out, even his own residents there are like, come on, jackass, there's no Sharia law coming here to Oklahoma, okay? Focus on what's actually real. Oh, what's real? Oh, I don't know, maybe AIPAC buying almost all of our politicians and insisting that they have biblical beliefs or political beliefs that kowtow to everything the current Israeli government wants. No, that's not the threat. That's not the threat, even though AIPAC, let alone the rest of the Israeli lobby, has given money to 65% of Congress. Even though our Congress is obviously controlled by a foreign government, that's not the issue. What if they brought back the Ottoman Empire from the 1600s? And Sharia law, come on. It's totally insulting our intelligence. And so if you're, and lastly, he's like, oh, look, remember the squirrel about the Syria. I'm very concerned about Syria, right? Can you remind me who helped put that Syrian government into place?
The United States and Israel.
Right, Israel.
The rebels.
Okay,
yeah.
United States, Israel, and Turkey, okay?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the Ottoman Empire. Okay, no, but literally those three countries were like, oh, Assad is not listening to Israel's orders. We have to eliminate Assad. Now Assad's a terrible guy. No one's missing him, right? But they're like, okay, we got a great new alternative. The guy from Al Qaeda. And by the way, finally, why? Is it because Turkey's so powerful? No, although they have some power here. But it's mainly because Israel wanted to take Western Syria. I'm hearing they have taken Western Syria. It's currently under Israeli occupation. No one actually talks about that, right?
Right.
And by the way, the Turks took northern Syria, so they're both happy. And finally, Israel wanted to be able to say, oh my God, my neighbor's Al Qaeda guy. Don't ignore that I put him in. Ignore that I bombed Assad so that he could come in and we handpicked him. Okay, oh, Al Qaeda, Muslim Brotherhood. Oh my God, I am in so much worried about my self-defense. What can I do? I guess I got to take half of Syria for greater Israel. I mean, because you're anti-Semitic and Sharia law. Okay.
Crazy.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets its wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.